The Road Traffic Act 2018 is now in effect, and the new rules are here to drive home the seriousness of improving the safety of our roadways. One of the updates is the power given to the Transport Authority to revoke driver's licenses if they are in breach of traffic offences or other grounds outlined in the Act. In 2022, Jamaica recorded 488 road fatalities, and government is taking the necessary steps to radically change the reckless behavior on our roads to save lives and reduce the impact on the economy. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We continue with road safety and lots more in the package. Stay tuned.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, February 1, 2023. The long-anticipated new Road Traffic Act is now in effect. Minister of Transport and Mining Audley Shaw says there will be a period of transition from the old regime to finalize changes to documents used and required adjustments in road infrastructure.
Therefore, the aspects that require a phased implementation will be addressed as we transition to operating under the new legislative regime. Arrangements and interim legislative provisions have been made to preserve the validity of the current while we move into the future.
As part of the transition, all persons with demerit points on their driver's license prior to February 1, 2023 will have their points expunged to begin the new enforcement regime with a clean slate.
Persons who have not cleared their matters will still be required to attend court and address the tickets that are outstanding.
The Road Traffic Act 2018 ushers in key changes to the driver's license process and speed limits, as well as new offences and increased penalties for some existing traffic violations. Among the key changes that will directly impact the public, drivers are now restricted to hands-free use of cellular phones while driving, and texting while driving is strictly prohibited. To acquire a learner's permit, persons must pass the road code test, do a medical, provide proof of identity and address, and pay the requisite fee. In order to get a Class A or B driver's license, driving skills, yard and road tests will be required. For a Class C license, commercial vehicle or mechanical knowledge, as well as yard and road tests, plus a more comprehensive medical is necessary. Under the new Road Traffic Act, tickets can now be served for offences detected by cameras, and the owner of the vehicle will be held liable, though the offence will not attract demerit points.
The regulatory framework is set out in the regulations and will permit deployment of this mode of operation as soon as the requisite infrastructure and the communication mechanisms are established.
Other key changes include a joined-up ticket management system that links information across Tax Administration Jamaica, the courts, Island Traffic Authority, and the JCF to address existing gaps that cause deficiencies in the enforcement process. Changes to the speed limit regime include 5 km/h zones now being put in place where warranted, and a reduced 30 km/h limit for school safety zones. The Road Traffic Appeal Tribunal also comes into existence today. This 7-member body will give aggrieved motorists an avenue to appeal decisions of the Island Traffic Authority, which is now empowered to issue notices to carry out the suspension of a driver's license and to execute the requirements under the Road Traffic Act. In other news, Parliament has extended the zones of special operations, ZOSOs, in 7 communities across the island for another 60 days. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang tabled the resolution calling for the extension in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He insists that these ZOSOs remain relevant and robust and are bringing about meaningful and sustainable transformation of the communities, restoring a sense of hope for residents.
The intended outcomes and impact of the zones cannot be fully realized unless the investment and initiatives are sustained over the medium to long term. This must be accompanied by routine monitoring and rigorous evaluation which we have set out to do to ensure that the lessons learned will inform the way forward.
Over the period of the extension, Mount Salem and Denham Town will continue into the build phase. Greenwich Town, August Town, Norwood, Parade Gardens and Savannah Lamar will continue in the hold phase of the operation. Bauxite company UC Rasal has been given 2 weeks to stabilize the 400 emaciated and starving cows on its Kirkvine, Manchester property. This comes on the heels of a recent discovery of the appalling conditions in which an estimated 400 animals are housed. The images showed the cattle in various stages of emaciation and suffering, along with accounts of multiple deaths. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Pernell Charles Jr. says the animals will be placed in a government-monitored facility and treated with appropriate remediation if the actions taken by the company are insufficient to improve their condition.
The Jamaican Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the JSPCA, will give further consideration to laying charges under their corresponding act, which is the Cruelty to Animals Act, on UC Rasal.
The minister's statement follows an emergency meeting on Monday with members of his team, as well as executives from UC Rasal and the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, JSPCA. He has given assurances that other steps will be taken to prevent the negligent act from happening again.
UC Rasal has committed to providing the monitoring team with a detailed medium and long-term management plan to include the necessary training support assisted by RADA and the Jamaica Dairy Development Board, so as to prevent any reoccurrence of this kind of situation in the foreseeable future.
In other sector news, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries will be giving heifers and more technical and financial support to the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, this year. This will be done to encourage CASE staff and students to start new businesses and establish the college as Portland's leading research and development hub. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr., who made the announcement, says he hopes the students will continue to push agriculture forward in the coming year.
It is important for you to know that when you hear your minister talk about grow smart, eat smart, you are the smart. We want scientists, economists, agronomists to make decisions that are wise.
The minister was addressing CASE's Founders Weekend celebrations recently. He also appealed to the students to break down any barriers that may arise and push agriculture to its pinnacle.
It is you that we are relying on to make sure that you understand it's no longer just production. It's no longer just being happy because we have recorded the highest level of production, which we have in the last 2 years, and I want to give thanks to the farmers and fishers for that.
And finally, Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams is committing to the provision of psychotherapy and counselling for children who have experienced trauma as a result of verbal abuse and violent threats. This comes in response to a recent incident at Newell High School in St. Elizabeth, where a social media video circulated of a teacher verbally abusing, chasing, and threatening to kill a student. Minister Williams says the teacher's actions are unacceptable and reflect poorly on the profession. She adds that the teacher's behavior also demonstrates that individuals' need for psychotherapy sessions. In the wake of the video, the school's board chairman scheduled an emergency meeting to discuss the teacher's behavior in compliance with the 48-hour notice requirement set forth under the current regulations for members. The Office of the Children's Advocate, OCA, and the Commission of Police have been given the video of the incident for inquiry. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
We change lanes now to look at how our youth can contribute positively to building Jamaica. Have you been keeping up with the National Tree Planting Initiative? Well, so far, almost 2.3 million trees have been planted, and the goal is to reach 3 million. It's why schools and tertiary students now have a chance to compete for amazing cash prizes as they plant trees. Find out why and how to participate.
The National School Tree Planting Competition is open to early childhood, primary, secondary, and students from tertiary institutions. The school or tertiary student that plants the most trees will win amazing cash prizes and awards. Let's find out some more so you can find out how to enter the competition.
This is an excellent initiative that acknowledges and recognizes the important role our schools have in making sure that our children are not just highly educated, but highly conscious of the role that they have within our society, within our country, and certainly within our world.
The National School Tree Planting Competition was launched in September 2022 by the Forestry Department. It aims to increase participation in the government's National Tree Planting Initiative, NTPI. The goal of the NTPI is to plant 3 million trees as part of measures to reduce the impact of climate change. Over 2 million trees have been planted by persons from all sectors since its launch in 2019. The National School Tree Planting Competition is providing fertile soil to grow that number and amplify the involvement of young people.
The National Tree Planting Competition is a good initiative because it allows for students to be environmentally educated and it allows them to be actively involved in mitigating the effects of climate change.
Students at all levels of the education sector can participate by sourcing and planting fruit and ornamental trees before February 23. Here at St. Andrew High School for Girls, the Environmental Club is leading the charge.
The St. Andrew High School for Girls entered the National Tree Planting Competition in order to ensure active participation in the tree planting process and also to showcase our talents here.
As the Environmental Club President, I often implore the ladies of the club to do anything and everything that they can do to be a good environmental protector. So planting trees, educating their peers and family members, or even just becoming an advocate for environmental stewardship.
To me, to be able to protect the environment means to be an environmental steward. And I believe with that responsibility, with that knowledge, you should be able to enjoy sharing that knowledge and spreading it with your peers because this is our home and we have nowhere else to go.
To enter the competition, visit the Forestry Department's website at forestry.gov.jm for an application form. Complete the application, select the applicable category, institution or student, then submit. Monetary prizes will be awarded in various categories. The main prize is $300,000 for the most trees planted per category. There are also sectional prizes for the most innovative school and most outstanding student and teacher.
I challenge our students to be ambitious in their targets and innovative in their approaches and activities.
When we visited, St. Andrew High School for Girls was confident the school would do just that.
Oh, definitely we will win. Our strategy is the fact that we have several different teams working at different stages of the planting exercise. We will definitely be bringing out and ensuring that accountability is done. We have a team who will be managing, measuring, watering, and so this will be consistent. All of this will be calculated over time and recorded as such.
Each tree planted must be logged in the 876 Trees app, which can be downloaded from the Google Play or Apple App Stores. This information will be used by the Forestry Department to track the number of trees planted.
It is our hope that this will help the agency to achieve or target one of the targets of the NTPI, which is to facilitate the production and planting of 1.3 million trees in suitable locations across the island.
The National School Tree Planting Competition is being supported by corporate sponsors, and the official award ceremony will be held on International Day of Forests, March 21, 2023. Schools and tertiary institutions, this is a great opportunity to help protect this beautiful island of Jamaica. Remember to sign up for the competition, and remember the deadline is February 28, 2023. Remember that for each tree you plant, you are saving your own lives.
Today is the start of another important movement in national affairs, Reggae Month. 28 days dedicated to the music of the land, which has transcended the globe and connected people from different cultures. As we look forward to the celebrations ahead, we unveil its early genesis, taking you back in time to explore our music expressions over 60 years of nationhood.
The Lady G's, the Lady Saws.
Rude is in court now, boys.
Scratch Perry and King Tubby, what they did, and that is influencing modern music production today.
The torso is tilted forward, the arms are going up and down.
The original sound system owners, Tom the Great Sebastian, Thomas Wong.
If you look at stuff like, Sata Masagana, people love the song and love the rhythm.
This is a story about Jamaica. Well, more so, its unique soundtrack and exceptional tunes. A story about the beats that keep the feet, hips, arms, hearts, and souls of Jamaicans moving.
Modern Jamaican music can trace its origin to the sound system. Now, the sound system can trace its roots to Tom Wong, the man who had the sound system called Tom the Great Sebastian. After that, people like Arthur Duke Reid and Clement Sir Coxsone Dodd decided that they were making their entry into the sound system business. The mood in America, where they were getting the music from, shifted, and the sound system operators decided that they needed to find a way of getting exclusive music, and one of the ways they thought they could do so was to create their own, and that's how ska was born. The anthem for that period, for me, would be Derek Morgan's Forward March.
Together be brothers and sisters, we're independent. 1962 on the 6th of August, when them was going to have this celebration of Jamaica independent, I was the one on a truck back, and I sing Forward March on that.
There was a close relationship between music and dance. So in ska, the torso is tilted forward. Now there was the options of the arm going up and down, side to side, forward and back. But the overall shape of the movement was very low.
By 1966, ska had made way for rocksteady.
Of the black, gold, and green. I guess the musicians decided that they want to slow it down a little bit, that people can more relax, in the dancing and thing. So here comes the rocksteady moment.
It was definitely a less exuberant type of music. And some people say that that is reflective of the fact that people were coming to terms with what the Independence Project meant, and they were not as confident as they were a few years before.
No, no, no.
So the movement was always coming back to center because you are taking control of your space. So it is an undisturbed, cool, the rude boy thing.
It was soon the late 1960s, and what continued as a demonstration of our ingenuity and innovation, as well as a reflection of our souls as Jamaicans, was the evolution of rocksteady to reggae.
Sold out to the merchant ships.
So reggae comes along at a point when Jamaica is now mature in the development of indigenous music. And reggae becomes message music influenced by Rastafari's ideological positioning.
This is why the Bob Marley is so successful, the Burning Spears and a whole lot of people, because the message of the music resonated internationally with the struggles of poorer people.
When we got into the reggae era, we got a lot more of the movement that we would find at the Bobo camps, at the Nyabingi 12 tribe sessions, a lot of swing, the head nods, and a lot more of that religious reverence.
At the turn of the late 1970s, a new beat was formed, one that would share the stage with reggae.
And me, she want, see how me cute.
So the dancehall was a space, and then it moved to become a genre. So then everybody, women and men, dance close together and dance and rub-a-dub.
Dancehall, of course, completely in an ethnomusicological context, different because you're getting staccato rhythms now, a faster paced beat. But dancehall emerges as Jamaica's premier street theatre.
Dancehall and the rise and the growth of dancehall music came about when Steely and Clevie came on the scene and started digitizing the music.
Right along with that came the movements, of course. Bogle dance, created by Gerald Bogle-Levy in 1992. You had World Dance, which followed up, and so many others. We went on to see the Butterfly, the Tatty, the Prang, a host of dancehall movements. Dance doesn't operate in a vacuum, so it's intrinsically linked to music.
But no musical genre developed after the 1960s isn't influenced by Jamaican music.
How many more must die because of reckless drivers? How fast is too fast? Make we take time, no man. Obey the rules of the road. Drive with care.
Part 6 of the Road Traffic Act speaks to careless driving and the penalties for promoting this kind of behavior. In this next feature, we take a deeper look into more changes that will help in the transformation of Jamaica's road safety culture. Take a look.
The Ministry of Transport and Mining is fully committed to the execution of Jamaica's road and vehicular safety operations. We are now in possession of a new, modernized Road Traffic Act and regulations. This law will ensure that Jamaica's road and vehicular safety network is in alignment with modern road and vehicular safety postulates. I want to inform owners of motor vehicles, ensure that you request a driving abstract from the Island Traffic Authority. Make sure that the person who you're putting to drive your vehicle is properly licensed and don't have a whole heap of tickets out there that are unpaid. Have evidence of their driver's license, as they could be driving around without a driver's license, as it may have been suspended. In relation to traffic tickets, all persons with outstanding traffic tickets are being warned to use the opportunity and have those tickets paid up speedily, because if you fail to do so, warrants will be issued. Be reminded that under the new Road Traffic Act and regulations, your driver's license will not be renewed if you have outstanding traffic tickets. We will have a new code governing the tread depth of tires. This is to ensure that the only component of the vehicle that touches the road surface do so in a safe manner. Motorists, pay keen attention to the 1.6 mm bar that is on your tire, as we do not want any violation of the law. In the new Road Traffic Act, there will be 3 categories of driver's licenses. Class A for motorcyclists, Class B for private motor vehicle use, Class C for commercial motor vehicle use. This therefore means the private and general driver's licenses will be no more. We will ensure that persons are properly aligned to classes. This new Road Traffic Act will give the Island Traffic Authority the power to suspend and revoke drivers' licenses. Do not be caught in this dragnet and do not ask for any bly. The ITA is not a bly entity. All stakeholders are ready for the full implementation of the Road Traffic Act and regulations. However, it is our intention to have a robust public education campaign geared towards ensuring that every road user is aware of the components outlined. I am again appealing to motorists to act responsibly on the roadways, given the growing number of crashes and fatalities across the island. Please take heed and get acquainted with the new law as we rid Jamaica of the lawlessness and mayhem on our roads.
Coffee is the second most consumed liquid on earth, next to water. What we need to make sure is that we develop now the entrepreneurial capacity to drive this. And we could be bringing thousands and thousands of people to Jamaica annually for this coffee festival. And that's what I want to see. So I'm inviting investments, and in fact, if we can't get local investment, you know I'm going to go look investment. Because this festival must not be a simple event at Newcastle every year. It must be a national event, that's an international event that brings thousands and thousands of people here and provide income and revenue for the country and the well-being of our people secured by it.
Be sure to join us again tomorrow for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. Catch the latest updates and find more content like this on our website, gis.gov.jm. You can also send your feedback on today's show or any of our programs via email to jamaicamagazine@gis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. One love.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.